Hello and welcome back to another episode of What's the Weather Like, the YouTube channel where we are talking all about mental well-being. And we create this channel with the hope that the messages we deliver will make a small contribution toward promoting happiness and overcoming suffering. I'm Hoai, a psychology student who will be with you today. In this episode, we are talking about entrepreneurship and mental health. According to Forbes, 72% of entrepreneurs state that they suffer from mental health issues, and 70% of founders state that running a business has negatively affected their mental health. This is nearly 3 times the average prevalence of mental health issues in the standard population, and yet it's still something that's hardly acknowledged within the entrepreneurs community. To be an effective business owner, it's essential to take care of your mental health and physical health. Some suggestions for taking care of your mental health and avoiding burnout, such as taking breaks from work and technology, recognizing the signs of burnout, and adopting healthy habits. For more, let's join me in the conversation with Anna Abelha. She is a business owner as well as a business coach. She will definitely bring her enthusiasm and a great deal of inspiration to us today. Follow our conversation, you can be revealed to how to find passion in your life and how to deal with stress when becoming a business owner. Please see the links in the description box below for access to her information and her helpful book, How to Reboot Your Mind for Success. So let's get started. Thank you, Anna, for joining us in this episode. And the first thing we are so eager to know is yourself and your background.
I was raised in a family that was very entrepreneurial, so my dad always started businesses from zero. And so I grew up with that kind of belief that anything is possible because my dad has always been like that. So really I have to thank him because without, we always talk about conditioning as a child, and I guess that my dad's philosophy that anything is possible was embedded in my brain. And so I actually started in business when I left school as well. So I decided that I wanted to work for myself, and when I met my husband we started a business, and then ever since then I've just been starting all different types of businesses. But one of the businesses that I'm really, really proud of is when I just got married and my children were little babies, I saw a gap in the market, and I was a very passionate mum that wanted to help other mothers. And so I created this store called Funky Kids. And in my store, this was back before the internet, all the mums used to be able to come into my store and have a beautiful experience and buy beautiful educational wooden toys, organic clothing, or things that you couldn't find in the big department stores. And that really was my entry into the startup world, because that was something that I started from a simple idea and a passion that I had and a problem that I was trying to solve, because as a young mum I couldn't find these beautiful products for my kids. And so I thought one day, well, maybe I should just open up my own store. And so that's what I did. So I did that for 12 years, and I had 4 stores all around Perth in the big shopping centres. I won a national award for Best Independent Retailer of the Year, and so that was really exciting. And I had a beautiful team that worked with me, so it was a really good introduction into the startup. And then when I finished with the business, I then got into business coaching and mindset coaching, and then through that I met Charlie Bass from Seri, and now I run the boot camp for my entrepreneurial mindset, which I love doing because I get to meet very smart, passionate, driven people like yourself. And it's just, when you're working with people that you love and you're doing what you love, then everything's just so much easier.
Business coaching helps reducing business stress and support mental health. Could you please share with us more about that?
Well, coaches are so important because we hold you accountable. This is the one thing that's hard for people to develop goals and take action every day. It's because you have really good intentions, but then it gets hard because life gets hard. And so it's easy to fall back into bad routines, and then you stop doing what you're doing and you fall down this rabbit hole. But if you have a coach, they're there to hold you accountable. They'll say, okay, so what did you do this week? Did you do the things that you were supposed to do? And if you say yes, that's great, and we set other new goals. But if you say no, then we look at, well, why? What happened? What was challenging for you this week? And then we help you set another routine or another set of goals to help you overcome those challenges. And I guess if you look at the greatest people like in sports, this is where you see it a lot, they all have coaches. So from the very beginning to the very elite, everyone does have a coach, because that person is there to hold you accountable and be that person that believes in you and just keeps you going. And I guess for me, because I've been that person, I've been in your shoes, I've been that person that started with just an idea to then making that idea come into something, come into fruition, and then carrying it over. You know, like my businesses ran for 12 years. And that's a hard thing, because initially you're running on adrenaline because you have a big idea and then you execute and then it's starting and you've got this business. But it's not always smooth sailing, as you know. You have your ups and your downs, your ups and your downs. And so people like me, business coaches or mindset coach, because I really like to talk about the mindset, we come in because when you're trying everything and it's not working, and then you lose momentum, and then you start going down a rabbit hole, you start saying to yourself, I'm not good enough, this isn't working, I'm a failure, and all that does is just lead into a spiral downwards. And then often what happens is people get frustrated and they give up because they don't know what to do. But there's always a way out, because with any kind of failure, the secret is you have to learn from your experience, pick yourself back up again and just keep trying, because you know that whatever you did before didn't work, so you learn from it, you change it, and then you just keep going. And that's really life, and that's business as well. We just live in a society that's just got so much noise. I think about when I was a kid in the 80s, we didn't have the internet, there was only really the TV, and so there wasn't a lot of expectations put on us from the outside world. It was really whoever you spent your time with that you would be influenced by. And so I guess the digital revolution has really just made it harder for everyone, because everyone's on 24/7. You text someone at 10 o'clock at night and they normally respond. You know, people with email, people expect responses all the time straight away. And so I guess all of those things are out of your control, but they're actually in your control. And so what I like to teach my clients is to be very savvy with your emails, how you make yourself available, how much time you spend on social media. And so by sort of, like for me, what I do is I schedule everything. So I allow myself 1 hour for social media on all the platforms where I'm posting and creating my, posting my content. And then I check my emails only once a day. So there's certain things that I do every day so that I'm not bombarded in the 24/7 digital world all the time, because it is a lot of noise, and all that extra noise is like weighing you down in your brain. That's how I feel. So I think just excluding as much as you can from social media, notifications, emails, all of that sort of stuff can really, really help with mental health.
And as you know, finding a passion in life is one of the stresses that young people face. How are they supposed to handle that?
The best thing about being young is you can try so many different things, and the more things that you try, the more you're going to work out the things that you really like and the things that you don't really like. Because I guess once we're born and we go through school and we go through university, a lot of that time is people are enforcing their own beliefs on our own selves. And we don't really stop and think about, well, what is it that I believe in? Do I actually really believe in these beliefs that I now have? Do I really need to get a mortgage and a house and get married by the time I'm 25? Like, who said that? Who makes these rules? So it's really hard. You've got all these forces that are working against you. And often when I speak to young people, they feel like they're running out of time because there's all these expectations that they have to hit these milestones. But in reality, if you think about it, if we're going to live to maybe 90 or 100, like the younger generation will, because we're so much more in tune with our health and living longer, you're just at the beginning of your whole life cycle. So you have the ability to try so many different things, and it doesn't matter if you fail, because you're learning as you're failing, but you're also discovering what you like, what you don't like, and what you're actually good at.
Thank you. And starting and building a business creates a lot of expectations, which might influence mental health. How do you think business owners may manage expectation in order to prevent stress and mental health issues?
Managing expectations is the one thing that you have to keep in tune as a young person and as a startup, because you can't be focusing on what's going on either side of you. It's like a race. When you're training to be in a race, a sprint, all you're focusing on is your end goal and all the little steps that you've got to do to get there. The minute you start looking that way or that way, and you start looking at the people that are faster than you, the people that have won the gold medals, the people that have gone to the Olympics, it throws you off course because you start to doubt yourself. And a task seems gigantic because you think, oh my gosh, I'm just starting out and they've already got a gold medal and they've already achieved so much. I'm never going to be able to do this. So the trick is to say to yourself, yes, I can get to that point. I can get to the Olympics. I can get to the gold medal. I can achieve my goal, but I have to keep it within my own lane, and I have to set my own expectations. And so everyone knows that when you see a successful entrepreneur or business, you only see their successes at the end. You don't see all the stuff that they've been doing the years before to get to where they are. And unfortunately, that's the bad side of social media. I love social media because it connects like-minded people together and we can learn and grow together. But unfortunately, if you use it to look at the people that are winning, then that's not good for you, because it can take you off track and it can make you feel that you're not achieving your goals. So managing your expectations and saying to yourself, okay, this might take me 5 years, but I'm going to reverse engineer, at year 4, year 3, year 2, year 1, what is it that I want to achieve this year? What is it that I need to achieve in the next 6 months, a year, 18 months, 2 years? That's the better way to go.
And how important do you believe mindfulness is, personally and professionally?
So mindfulness is an amazing tool that can help you reflect and come back to yourself. Because as we know, the world is busy, there's so much noise, we're constantly, like I said before, looking at people either side of us, what people are doing, what people are not doing. We have demands on our daily life, we have expectations from our family, our friends. And so with mindfulness, that helps you it helps you keep yourself grounded. And so for me, I've been practicing mindfulness for the last 6 years, and I have noticed a big change even in myself. And so by starting your day with mindfulness and doing deep breathing and just being grateful for everything that you have and not focusing on what you don't have, when things start to go wrong, you just bring it back to yourself. And I find that you don't blame other people. It's like you have a stronger locus of control. You're able to say to yourself, okay, that's okay, things went wrong today, I can't change it, but I'm going to keep moving forward. And so mindfulness just helps you do that. It helps you stay grounded. It helps you keep yourself focused.
And the last questions. What is your one or favorite methods for dealing with stress?
So one of the things that I do, I learnt this in a book called The Artist's Way. And in that book they talk about, in the morning you get a journal and you just write down everything that's in your brain and you just put it on paper. And I call that a brain dump. So this is what I teach my clients. So every morning, just grab a book or start with a journal and just write how you're feeling, whatever's in your mind, whatever the thoughts are. It doesn't have to make sense. You don't go back and read it. It's just literally just removing thoughts from your mind onto paper. And what I have found for me is that once you've done that, it's like clean. It's like, now I can breathe. Now I can get on with my day. And so what I normally do is, then I look at my tasks of what I need to achieve in the morning, and I usually start with my hardest one first, and I just find that I get into focus and I get into flow and I'm motivated and I just get a lot more work done.
And thank you so much, Anna, for joining us today. I do believe the sharings is very useful and beneficial for any of us who wants to balance ourselves in work and life. And my friends, you can easily find Anna's personal page and Instagram in the description box. Follow for more. Thank you all of you for tuning in with What the Weather Like today. I hope this inspires you to take a deep breath and gather your inner fortitude on your business journey. Thank you, and I wish your day full of peace, love, and happiness. And remember that we need you, your authenticity, and your beautiful soul in this world. You always have something amazing to offer this world.